Hello, Frag, I'm here. Today we're going to be looking at the spring staple for both frag heads and non-frag heads because of how easy it is to wear and likable. Something that has stood the test of time so far because of the DNA being timeless, of course. We're talking about from the House of Royal Crown, Reign, and then by association is going to be something that is similar to Creed Green Irish Tweed or Davidoff Coolwater. Looking at the presentation, thick glass here, and the detail on the cap is just amazing. So beautiful presentation all around. Now, talking to the common DNA between these three, a lot of people do refer to the DNA as like a freshly rained on Irish countryside, and I can definitely see that. What I get at the opening and for the first 2 to 3 hours is actually, imagine you're taking a walk, lightly rained earlier, and then you have this beautiful paysage, greenery, so you get cool air, grassy smells, and a little bit of citrusy accord to it. I get that for the first 2 to 3 hours, and then the dry down I also get addition of woody, creamy sandalwood and some powdery floral undertones to it. Although Reign does share strong similarities with GIT and Coolwater, which by the way, I'm not too familiar with Coolwater. I only tested a couple of times and sort to know enough of the similarities, but I wouldn't be able to tell you differences between Coolwater and Reign, for example. So I'm going to focus on GIT and then Reign at this point. So in contrast, Reign opens a lot more aromatic than GIT. It is almost like it's going to the dry down of GIT, which I love. And then in comparison, GIT in the opening just makes me sneeze crazy. That's why I always hated the anticipation of enjoying the dry down of GIT, but having to deal with that opening always made me avoid GIT in the spring. So that's why I ended up trading it for Reign at this point. The additional difference between Reign and GIT in the dry down is that I get a lot more pronounced floral sandalwood accord that are a little bit higher in quality than what I get out of GIT. And GIT I also get powdery sandalwood, floral, irisy, powdery tones to it, but in Reign is a lot more pronounced, which I enjoy a lot. Now, all in all, even with those differences there, if you give this to a non-frag heads, I don't think they'll be able to make up the differences between all three that I mentioned here. Even for frag heads, and you're in this day in and out, and then you love it and compare it to GIT, you have to be honest here. The price point 500 compared to 150 or even lower is not worth it. If you compare the increased quality of the ingredient and then versus the price differential between Reign, for example, and GIT, it is not worth it. I would never pay $500 for this DNA here, even if I have to bear with the horrid opening of GIT. I think I will have stayed with that if I couldn't find this one for a good price. If you're a sucker for presentation and you want like the beautiful presentation out of Royal Crown, I would say go for something more interesting like Oud Al Melka, for example. But for the pricing and then how close they are, I don't think is worth it. Especially if you sample Coolwater and then your nose is telling you that is a great fragrance, it smells nice. Just listen to your nose. Things start to get muddy and then a little bit skewed when you start to listen to your brain, which takes into account what other people are thinking about the fragrance and then how cheap it is. If it is telling you that it smells good to you. Now, if you let your brain get into the way of what your nose is telling you, that's where you start to take things into consideration where people are saying, oh, this is a cheapie, it is not worth it. If it smells good to you, it smells good to you. With that being said, the only reason I have Reign in my collection is because, like I said, I sold GIT, added a little bit of money, and I was able to find this at a fantastic price, so I didn't hesitate because I love the dry down of GIT. It's just the opening didn't work out for me, so this one goes straight to the dry down, just enjoying it. So 500, I would not recommend this. If you end up loving GIT or Coolwater or any alternative there with the same DNA, stick with that. There's no reason for you to get something that is more expensive. If you can find it at a lower price and then GIT or Coolwater is not doing it for you, then maybe consider this one at the better pricing. Now on to performance here. This one is great, above average. I wear it in the morning, come back from work, and until I take a shower, I can still smell this one. And projection is really great. I get this powdery green green, floral, grassy tone, drying down to the creamy sandalwood there. Just wonderful. So lasts a long time. In terms of seasonality, I would say spring and summer. And for occasions, this one is really versatile, easy to like, easy to enjoy, so you can wear it anywhere. Now, this concludes my review here. If you've tried Rain, let me know what you think of it. Do you think it's actually worth the $500? Again, thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and take care. Bye.